Hey, what's up? This is Chris Gray, and you're listening to the ZiFM Sport Podcast.
Zimbabwe's finest radio, ZiFM Stereo.
It's Lionel Messi! He scored! The goal the world wanted!
It's time for the biggest sports stories.
It's Neymar trying to feed it through. It's a stretch, and it's in! And I can't remember the last time I saw something like this. Extraordinary scenes!
The biggest interviews.
It's more difficult. Obviously, it's more difficult.
And all the analysis right here.
If they play poorly, they've come back, they've got all the excuses. You can't have it both ways.
Every weekday, it's my sport, it's your sport. It's ZiFM Sport. Let's join the team for the biggest show in the world of sport on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.
It's a very good evening, Zimbabwe. It is a Friday. It is a Fire Friday. We begin our weekend preview on the home front by building up to the potentially explosive clash between Highlanders and CAPS United at Barbourfields on Sunday. In our international section, the Golden State Warriors are fine-tuning for the playoffs as they brushed aside the LA Lakers early this morning. And in the beautiful game, European League football is headlined by the Klassiker, where Bayern Munich battle Borussia Dortmund in a potential title decider. The studio team tonight, myself, Mark Pozzo, Alois Bunjira, Chris Gray and Simba Pupujena. The man putting the show together is none other than Sean Tafaranika.
The Home Front. Local sports news and analysis. From Rufaro to Barbourfields, Mandava to Nyamunga, all the perfect moments in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League come together on ZiFM Sport.
The Barbourfields battle featuring Highlanders and CAPS United on Sunday has caused quite a buzz in both Bulawayo and other parts of the country, and it's generated so much hype that's among the players and the fans alike, pointing to a potentially explosive encounter. Barbourfields will certainly be bouncing to the Boso beat in the stands, as well as the colourful Makepekepe colour. There's so many subplots about this match, which has seen it hog all the limelight of match day 2 in the Castle Lager Premier Soccer League. Alois, why is this particular match such a big deal? Usually we know to look out for our CAPS United versus Dimbare versus Highlanders. But in this particular scenario, you have Highlanders and CAPS United. Why is this such a big deal this season?
I think even historically it used to be a big match as well, you know, especially those days when CAPS United were the Cup Kings and Highlanders were also coming through as a title Cup contenders as well. I think there was a time that they were actually fighting for that tag as well of Cup Kings. It was big then. Then there was a time when Highlanders were a bigger team and CAPS United were taking trophies, Highlanders winning the league as well. And then I think CAPS United took the mantle from Highlanders. Highlanders, they won like 4 league titles in a row. Then CAPS United came and grabbed 2 in a row. I think that's when people actually were like, okay, these big teams are actually giving us value for our money. But for this particular one, I actually think that the hype is just from the early. It's early in the season. You know, they've met early in the season. People are still hungry for football.
Yeah.
There's still excitement. There's still this excitement about football, and they want to watch this match. I'm telling you, this promises to be houseful for me. And then the other thing that has actually ignited this match is the Net1 sponsorship.
Oh yes,
that has come through for both teams. They both sponsored by Net1, and Net1 has been actually at the forefront talking about this match a lot, and half the price as well for the fans that use if you are using one money, that kind of thing. They're paying half the price, and that is excited. This is what we want to see in Zimbabwean football. Those kind of promotions coming through, and you know, the
innovative
marketing,
promotion.
Yes, the marketing of the matches. This match has been marketed well. If
Absolutely.
You ask me. It has been
across social media as well.
Yes,
there's been a lot of buzz.
Yes, there's a lot of excitement about it. There's a lot of hype, and that's why I actually believe that it's going to be houseful. I'm actually also tempted to actually go down there and watch this match because of the hype that it has caused. Yeah.
So we caught up with Highlanders CEO Nhlanhla Dube, who described to us the significance of this early season match.
The feeling is just even for me, it's one of Derby Day. I don't understand what has changed. I'm sure there are a few dynamics. There's the Gabriel Nyoni, Norman Tianjali dynamic. There's the Siamese, twinning in terms of sponsorship, I presume. And there's the whole awakening of, people-based clubs. I say that tongue-in-cheek. This year, we want to start competing. Not necessarily that we say we're a finished product that can say deliberately that we're challenging for the championship, but we want to present a side that will show maturity, that will show growth from last year, that will compete. We want to be able to challenge for everything that is on offer. We'll get to as many finals as we can, and yes, play to win as many of those finals that we get into. Well, it's a big game. I'm tempted here to speak to you wearing two hats. I'm tempted to speak to you as an administrator. Certainly the CEO, I'll speak to you more with caution, deliberate caution, because football is football. Football is three results. You can win, you can draw, you can lose a match. And that is reality of football. You should go into any game expecting that. And however, you want to go into it playing to win the game, but ready to accept any result and be comfortable and confident that if you competed well, you get the result that you desire. Sometimes the board of football don't smile at you and don't get the result that you think you should get. But also I would want to speak to you as a fan, as a true black and white Highlanders fan, and say to you that the desire as a fan is that we are going to see a sea of black and white on the terraces, that the song are going to be reverberating, that the usual Highlanders commitment and sentiment will be seen from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And of course, as a fan, that we are going to emerge victorious. And not only victorious, but confidently victorious.
So another subplot in this particular scenario, that's the Boso fans' heartthrob Gabriel Nyoni, who's going to be coming back for the first time from the away dressing room at Barbourfields. Now, taking a look at that particular scenario, you have the Highlanders coach, Paz, who came out last season saying, you know what, we're coming back, we're rebuilding. But this time, he says that his team, after one season, is no longer a work in progress, and they've declared that they now want to challenge for the championship. This sounds a little bit premature for me. What do you think?
Look, I think they've got big ambitions, Highlanders, this season, and you know what? Why shouldn't they? It's game number 2 in the season. It's a long way to go. But you know what? I also believe that Madenda-in-law was looking at this and saying, you know what? We have a pretty good record against CAPS United at Barbourfields.
That's another one.
Yeah, I mean, CAPS haven't won there in the past 10 years. Only managed to beat them 1-0 back in 2015, Bunch. So, you know what, I think a little bit of mind games here to say, you know what, we're ready for this game. We're ready to challenge for the championship. And you know what, we've got home advantage as well tomorrow. But you know what, the record says that the last time CAPS United beat us here at Barbourfields was back in 2015.
Alois, do you believe in that football hoodoo? Is it breakable that, you know what, we haven't won there in the past, we've only won there once in the past 10 years? Is that something that sits in a football player's mind, or is it something that's not an issue?
Yeah, it is an issue, Chris, and most of the time if you don't get players that have got character, it can affect them. You remember CAPS United struggled to beat Dynamos. It was because of that, psychologically it affects other players, but they need somebody who can actually talk to them and say, you know what, this has got nothing to do with how good you are. This has got nothing to do with the superstition. It's all in your head. You can actually go out there and win. For CAPS United, I think they can also look deeper into our time. We never lost to Highlanders. We never drew against them at Barbourfields. We used to beat them. Every time we got there, we used to beat them. Mm-hmm. So they can actually tell themselves, if the 1996 team could go there and beat Highlanders there, if the 2004 team could go down there and beat Highlanders there, we are the new crop.
Absolutely.
We can also go and beat them down there. And coming to the situation of Highlanders being, I think when you look at the situation now with the big sponsorship and all that, you don't want to tell your sponsors you're a big team, you're the biggest club in Southern. Then you tell them, we are rebuilding. I think there was an issue of we can't be talking about that. We are big. We need to go for it. It actually props up. It it gives fire to the team, even to the fans as well. Imagine if I'm a fan and I still continue hearing that my team, don't worry, we don't need to win this one, we are still rebuilding. It takes something away from the team. So I think now they looked at it and like, okay, we rebuilt last year, guys, we are going for it. It gives an oomph to everybody. Everybody is now gearing up for the match. The fans as well, they're saying, no, we want to win this championship. When they come to support on Sunday, they're coming to support a championship winning team, not a team that is rebuilding. So it actually brings that the match on fire. And we are going to see fireworks.
Yeah, look, I mean, if we look at last season, Caps failed to score at Barbourfields after the two teams shared the spoils in a 0-0 draw. Then back in November 2017, they managed one goal each with a match ending in a 1-0 draw. The previous year, they had fired blanks at the same venue where they were edged 1-0. In May 2014, they were hammered 4-0 after having demolished the Bulawayo Giants by the same scoreline in the reverse fixture. So, do you think there's going to be goals here tomorrow?
There's going to be goals. They both play attacking football, and obviously Highlanders will be wary of Gabriel Nyoni. They know what he can do. He played well against Manica Diamonds, and we were talking to him as well that, you know what, in Grabowski's language, Wislo Grabowski, put wood before brain. I always talk about it. Don't think about the fans. They are going to boo him. No doubt about it. He's going to get booed from the warm-up. He's going to get booed. So he needs to have a strong character. Sian Charlie as well, coming from Highlanders, he's going to be playing as well against his former team. So they need character. They need strong character to actually play against a team that commands so much support. It's going to be packed and they make a lot of noise. So it's going to be quite interesting. I would want to see how these two boys handle this.
All right, guys, predictions for this particular match.
Go for it. Right, you go first, Chris.
Me first?
Yep.
I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, not a bad call.
2-1 to CAPS United from
2-1 to CAPS United.
Is that head or heart?
That's his heart.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Highlanders by 1-0.
Okay.
I think they'll keep up their good record at home against CAPS United at Barbourfields.
Okay, let me know what you think. 0731168045. What do you think that match is going to end like? And also you can hit us up on Twitter. That's at ZiFM Sport. Your match day 2 fixtures tomorrow. Ngezi Platinum take on Mshowani Stars at Baobab. Bulawayo Chiefs versus the Wi-Fi Boys Talwan at Luveve. ZPC Karibe will be hosting her Rangers at Nyamunga Stadium. Yada versus Chicken Inn at Rufaro. FC Platinum reigning champions versus the Sugar Boys Triangle United at Mandaba. On Sunday, Highlanders take on CAPS United at Barbourfields. Manica Diamonds versus Harare City at Gibo. Dynamos take on Wange at Rufaro. And Chapungu versus Black Rhinos. That is going to be at Mandaba.
Hello, I'm Madinda Ndobu, Highlanders coach. You are listening to ZiFM Sport.
Right, we move on with the rest of our sports and news roundup. Just coming on to 6:22, Zimbabwe coach Gilbert Nyamatsamba has acknowledged his Chargers face a difficult task at the Hong Kong Rugby Sevens tournament, but believes the Cheetahs are ready to fight for qualification back into the World Series. The Cheetahs flew into Hong Kong late on Monday night and were joined by some of their other foreign-based stars, who include German-based Tafadzwa Chitongwindo and Tapiwa Zomondo from Cape Town over the following 2 days. In their first match this morning, the Cheetahs lost 29-12 to Tonga before going down 14-7 to Hong Kong in their last match of the day. To boxing, and Zimbabwe boxing guru Starlin Mau Mau has tipped Kurakwashi Nyagura to prevail in her historic Women International Boxing Association Intercontinental Super Flyweight title bout against highly rated Alice Mbewe of Zambia. The two will trade leather at the Lusaka Government Complex in Zambia tomorrow. This is the first time a female boxer from Zimbabwe will be contesting for a WIBA title. Finally, in tennis, Zimbabwe number 2 seed Benjamin Locke put the first point of the board for the Davis Cup. Zimbabwe Davis Cup team as he upset Romania top seed Marius Kopel 6-4-7-5. Zimbabwe will take a 2-0 lead at the end of play and will require one more match win to beat Romania if number 1 seed Takanai Garanganga beats Dima Dragos in the second singles match of the day, which is currently in progress.
Need mileage for your business? La Decima Print House is your all-in-one printing solution. Your one-stop shop litho printing for all your flyers, brochures, newsletters, church posters, company profiles, annual reports, all quick BizHub digital stationery printing, dissertations and general, photocopying services, HP large format printer for office signage branding, vehicle branding, and banners, DTG M6 industrial digital t-shirt and fabric printing, corporate gifts, and many more. La Decima Print House has packages that can be tailor-made to suit your business's unique printing needs. To place your order, call La Decima Print House on 0772 413 603 or 242 446 466, or visit us at Unit 9B, 75 Roberts Drive, Masasa, Harare. La Decima Print House. If you can think it, we can ink it.
Tiles is celebrating its 25th anniversary, and we are slashing prices by up to 20% on all our ceramic tiles, porcelain tiles, and our laminate flooring. Yes, you heard right, 20%. Visit us at 5 Samora Machel Avenue and our state-of-the-art showroom and fully stocked warehouse at 80 Simon Mazoredze Road, Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Don't miss out on this crazy offer. Hurry while stocks last.
Here we go again.
Enjoy world-class radio online. ZiFM Stereo is available on TuneIn. Search for ZiFM Stereo and you got it.
International Sports News Roundup, where the world comes out to play. Whether it's the NBA or NFL, the best of America on ZiFM Sport.
0731-168-045 is our number. Have your say, your way. Tell us your prediction for the big clash in game number 2 in the Castle Premier Soccer League this coming weekend when Highlanders entertain CAPS United. Straight into our international sports preview, and DeMarcus Cousins had 21 points and 10 rebounds, and the Golden State Warriors rolled past the LA Lakers 108-90 early this morning in pursuit of the number one seed in the West. With 4 regular season games remaining, the Warriors own the best record in the West with 54 wins and 24 losses, and have a 2-game lead over idle second place Denver. The defending NBA champions also hold the tiebreaker over the Nuggets in the race for the top seed. Let's hear from Steph Curry, who's feeling good about Golden State Warriors getting closer to clinching the number 1 seed.
Create good shots early in the game that starts to have a snowball effect for sure. Confidence goes up. It almost feeds upon itself. Good possession after good possession after good possession. So I think we just had the antennas up every possession. Like if we had 3 or 4 passes, something good was going to happen, and that was pretty much the case.
Okay, Sim, so Steph Curry's feeling good about the Golden State getting closer. Can you relate to that?
Feeling good like a person who's actually won an MVP award? No. Feeling good like a person who's been part of a team that is winning and is part of a dynasty and is about to cement. I can relate to that from having watched them do it season in, season out. And the scary thing is that when you look at it, the Golden State Warriors, at the beginning of the season, a lot of people had already picked them. It was for the reason that DeMarcus Cousins had already been added to a roster that is just phenomenal. And then when you look at the fact that Steph Curry had some injuries, it didn't really affect them that much. They're going into the playoffs already, wanting to seal that first place slot, which gives them an easier route once it gets into the playoff season. And then when you look at the fact that as well Kevin Durant is playing around in terms of what sort of ways he steps into that particular team and setup. Does he become the facilitator? Does he become the scorer? It's just such a scary thing to witness happening right now. Whether they maintain that is into the playoffs section of the season is something to also behold, because right now no one really knows whether the people like the Houston Rockets, who are presently sitting in third, will then step it up or they've blown themselves out. What I like about this present setup, though, is the fact that not a single one of them is in contention from the regular season MVP award, but it shows you that the team is now actually functioning as a team and not about the personalities.
I was going to say, look, Steph Curry didn't have a good game by his own high standards. He only scored 7 points. In a way, isn't that a good thing that, you know what, they're not going to rely so heavily always on Steph Curry?
Definitely. Look, I mean, I think as a team, you need to be able to say if someone has a bad day, you're not solely reliant on that person. So the fact that they're going into this off the back of that, absolutely brilliant. But let's paint a picture of the playoff season. The Eastern Conference Milwaukee Bucks have have secured their place. Toronto Raptors also secured. Philadelphia 76ers in. Boston Celtics also in. Indiana Pacers are in. So that leaves the Detroit Pistons, the Brooklyn Nets, Orlando Magic still fighting it out, and in the hunt, Miami Heat and the Charlotte Hornets. What's the Western Conference looking like, Paz?
Right, all 8 playoff spots have been secured. The Golden State Warriors number 1, the Denver Nuggets number 2, the Houston Rockets at number 3, the Portland Trail Blazers in at 4, the Utah Jazz at 5, the LA Clippers at 6, the Oklahoma City Thunder at 7, and the San Antonio Spurs in at number 8.
Hi, my name is Luke Baamute, Los Angeles Clippers small forward, and you're listening to ZiFM Sport.
Around the world in 60 seconds, international sports news.
We take off in Little Zimbabwe, also known as Texas, where Jordan Spieth and Ricky Fowler both made strong starts to the Valero Texas Open, as Graham McDowell's bid for back-to-back wins also began positively on day one. Spieth and Fowler bucked the trend of high-profile stars taking the week off ahead of the Masters next week, but they'll have high hopes of arriving at the Augusta National on the back of a victory after they fired 4 under 68 to end the first round, just 2 under behind leader Sim Woo Kim. In New Delhi, a quick-fire 48 by England's Johnny Bairstow and disciplined bowling helped the Sunrisers Hyderabad climb to the top of the Indian Premier League table after a 5-wicket win over the Delhi Capitals yesterday. Chasing a modest 130 for victory, Hyderabad depended on Bairstow's 28-ball blitz to achieve the target with 9 balls to spare in Delhi and register their 3rd straight win in this edition of the T20 tournament. This weekend's action in the IPL features top-of-the-table clash between Kings 11 Punjab and the Chennai Super Kings. Touching down in Dunedin, where Adi Surveyor's inspired Hurricanes survived a dramatic late fight back to beat the Highlanders 31-28. Flanker Surveyor scored 2 of the Hurricanes' 4 tries and prevented the Highlanders from crossing the line at least once with his ferocious defense in a frantic match that went down to the wire. In Brisbane, the Reds remain unbeaten against the South African side in Australia since 2015 following a 24-12 win over the Stormers. The rest of your Super Rugby matches this weekend: the Lions versus the Sharks, the Crusaders take on the Brumbies, the Blues versus the Waratahs, the Rebels versus the Sunwolves, and the Bulls versus the Jaguares.
Questa Play is unlike TV. Questa Play, stay entertained all day. Online streaming channels on your TV. Yeah. For kids, entertainment. Yeah. Movies, sports, and music. Yeah. Gaming, travel, and more. TV. On TV, yeah. Questa Play, stay entertained all day. Questa Play is unlike TV. It's on TV. Questa Play, stay entertained all day.
Get your Questa Play device for just $59. Questa Play, it's unlike TV.
Stay up to date with the latest sporting action and the freshest lineup of on-demand sports on Kwese iFlix. Immerse yourself. Bask in the glory of pulsating action anywhere, anytime. Welcome to the beautiful game on ZiFM Stereo. Brought to you by Kwese iFlix.
Kwese iFlix. Entertainment on the go.
We're into the beautiful game, and before we get into the stories in detail, let's go to our WhatsApp and SMS messages. 0731 168 045. Chris Gray is behind the screen. What predictions are we getting, Chris?
Okay, so Hansi, guys, to be honest, we will win Caps United will win 3-1. That's decoy from Gwegwe. Highlanders 4, Caps United 3. No name on that one. 4-1 to Caps United. That's TZ from Westgate. 4-1. It's a lot of
goals. But
goals.
he didn't say to be honest, so we can't take his word for it.
We didn't get your prediction, by the way.
Oh, yes, Sims, your prediction.
Yeah, as I was driving in, I was still trying to wrap my head around Chris saying Gabriel Nyoni is a heartthrob, so I was still trying to. But now we get back to
football heartthrob, guys.
Whichever.
Focus.
So, yeah, that.
25, whichever way, whichever.
Yes, football heartthrob.
I think I'm just going to go with Camp Alois in this one because, my blood also runs green.
Really?
Okay, right.
Some more predictions. Highlanders 2-1 to Caps United. That's Tato in Harare. 2-0 in favor of Caps United. McDonald in Bulawayo. McDonald in Bulawayo is supporting Caps United for this particular match.
He hasn't given them his address. He hasn't given them his address, so he's safe.
He must be a visitor in Bulawayo.
Some more predictions. Caps United to win 2-1. Sergio Stones listening all the way from Mozambique. Hey. Highlanders 1-all with Kepe 2-1. Kepe, that's my guy Mukondo.
2-1 is a popular scoreline.
It's safe though. It's safe.
It will move mountains if it happens.
Hansi, 0-0 is going to be a goalless draw. That's DJ Bongs from Eastleigh in Harare. I think that's entirely a possibility. If you take a look at the Highlanders side, last season they were getting by on a draw, snag a win there, a draw, and that's how they managed to stay where they were in the Premier League. But in this particular match, it could end as a 0-0 draw, judging by also Caps United's performance pre-season against Timbare.
No, judge them against Maniga
last week.
I
knew Alois was going to pull that one out because he's been hearing about so many things that he's seen.
Against the new boys? We're going to judge them against the new boys.
I saw them attacking. Sometimes football is about how you are playing, not against the opposition. You watch the movements and all that. It was like top notch. And now the good thing is Dominic Chungwa is also back. Before he left for South Africa last season, they had started very well with John Joao, and that combination was actually cut short, before we could actually see it. So here we go now. They are back together again. So I'm expecting a lot from those two.
That number again, 0731 168 045. We've got lots more football news from you, but one more prediction. Hansi Nyoni will score one of those goals.
The beautiful game, brought to you by Kwese. Horsepower unmatched. Torque to beat the best. Speed unrivaled. Sleek and easy on the eye. Let's get behind the wheel of football engineered to perfection. The Bundesliga, made in Germany.
Right, we kick off in the Bundesliga where German champions Bayern Munich host Borussia Dortmund tomorrow in a match described as the biggest game of the season in Europe. Der Klassiker is loaded with extra meaning as both teams are looking to keep their title hopes alive at the other one's expense. At the start of December, the title race looked to be over with Dortmund 9 points clear at the top, but Bayern took advantage of the stuttering form of their rivals to claw back the deficit. As he prepares to add one more Klassiker to his collection, Dortmund's Mario Götze, who previously made 73 Bundesliga appearances for the Bavarian Giants, discussed the importance of this season's Der Klassiker.
We know how tough it is to play your absolute best for 90 plus minutes in Munich. That's a challenge at a different level. Bayern have incredible quality. There have been times in recent years where we've gone there, maybe not in the best shape, and it showed. Obviously the situation's different now. It's certainly important, but the next 6 weeks as a whole will be decisive. We'll need to be at 100% for every game.
Okay, Sim, so Bayern slipped up last week drawing against Freiburg, and Dortmund beat Wolfsburg with two late goals, late in the game. How do you see this game going?
It's a tricky one. I'm just listening in when you're saying that at the end of December it was a 9-point gap. We shouldn't even be in this position. But alas, here we are. They choked at the wrong time, but unfortunately also for Bayern Munich, their patchy sort of form, they haven't managed to really maximize on that, because had they not slipped up against Freiburg, this one would also actually be them still on top. So they find themselves 2 points behind. Comforts of being at home might work in their favor, but I still have a sneaky suspicion that Dortmund still have enough of it this particular season to see it through. And the good thing about it is they don't even need to win. They've got 2 options of results that could be in their favor, because I still think that Bayern Munich has still got a point or two that they'll drop along the way in the running.
Bunj, they're dubbing this as probably one of the biggest games of the season in Europe. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do agree, because of basically the way it is now, the timing of the match. You know, they are fighting for the championship, and every point right now actually counts. You know, and especially for Bayern Munich, you know, they can't afford to even a draw. They need a win for this one, because when you are chasing, you need to do it for yourself. They don't want to sit back and say, we hope Leipzig will do it. We hope the Saracens, you know, they want to do it for themselves. So they know that if they draw, if they don't win, they will be then they will be looking for another team to do it for themselves. So it's kind of tricky. And like you said, this is a blockbuster match, just because a win for either of the teams will actually, like, more than likely secure them the championship.
Incidentally, both these teams were knocked out of the last 16 of the Champions League by English clubs. Bayern, of course, losing against Liverpool, and Dortmund suffering defeat at the hands of Tottenham. Right, quickly, Sims, your prediction?
2-2.
Ooh, 2-2. Not a bad call, actually. Alois?
I think I'll go with Simba as well, but I don't think it will be that high scoring. 1-0 for me.
1-0. Chris Gray?
Okay, I think I'll be a little braver than some of the men in the studio. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Bayern.
Yeah, I'm with you there, Chris. I'm going Bayern Munich by 2-1. Let's have a look at your other fixtures this weekend in the Bundesliga. Mainz up against Freiburg. Bayer Leverkusen are at home to RB Leipzig. Schalke at home to Eintracht Frankfurt. Hertha Berlin against Fortuna Düsseldorf. Stuttgart against Nuremberg. Wolfsburg are at home to Hanover. Augsburg take on Hoffenheim. Borussia Mönchengladbach are at home to Werder Bremen. And, of course, the big game of the weekend, Bayern Munich taking on Borussia Dortmund.
All the rivalry.
The captain likes the touch paper. It is blue touch paper. Always him on Derby Day.
All the stars.
Absolutely brilliant again from Mo Salah. The twinkling feet, the ice cold finish, the Egyptian on fire.
And all the game-changing moments.
Aguero!
All the updates from the Premier League on ZiFM Sport.
This is the league we want to watch.
Jurgen Klopp has described his Liverpool side as a proper force ahead of their clash with Southampton tonight. The Liverpool manager responded to praise from Manchester City boss Pep Guardiola and spoke excitedly of his side's energy and power. They're separated by just 1 point with 6 games remaining, and the two teams are locked in a title race that looks set to go right to the wire. Let's hear from Jurgen Klopp.
He's right. What can I say? We have a really good team together. A really good team to club. You know it pretty well. It's a proper force, and so there's a lot of power in and around the club. So like all the dreams, take them together, and that can be a real high energy, or can create a proper energy for going forward. It took a while, obviously, until everybody thought it that way. But meanwhile, it's obvious. We probably qualified 3rd time in a row for the Champions League. It's a while ago that happened. We are fighting for the top spot in the league. We are last in the quarterfinal Champions League. It's obvious, and we said that we want to be a difficult opponent. So for all the teams, and we are. Can we improve? Oh yes, unbelievable. So much, of course, we can improve. We have to. But in the moment, it's really that we put all our skills, all our potential, all our desire, all together, and go for the next game. And that's what we're doing in the moment. It's not about developing, improving in this moment. We can think about that next year again.
So, Sims, we've got 6 match days remaining, 1 point separating Liverpool and Manchester City. Liverpool have not won the Premier League for more years than I've been alive. I'm going to say it. For more years than I've been alive. And this is coming down to the wire for them. Is this going to be an issue of quality against quality? Or is this more a case of who can grind out a result every single match day?
I think it's probably about the grinding out of results, but for me, Manchester City doesn't seem a team that is in that sort of bracket of grinding out.
Yeah, they're not grinding.
They have quality, and they've been there before. Unfortunately, if it was any other team that was chasing down Liverpool, they would be in a comfortable space, a more comfortable space, let's just say. But the fact that it's now ding-dong, whichever team, once the matches are on par, whichever team wins, it kind of gets on top. I don't think they were comfortable with seeing Man City doing that. So for me, that edge in terms of having been there, knowing how to do it in an English context, gives it to Man City. However, the sentiment of it will still be going with Liverpool.
Pause for you. You're a Liverpool fan. Do you actually see your team ending this right at the top of the league?
Of course, I'd like to see them end the season as champions, but I think 6 games to go. I think it's anybody's title between those two, and I believe it's, you know what, whoever falls off the line is afraid going to finish second place. You got to keep on a straight and narrow here. You got to get your results, no matter how you get them. You got to get 3 points. 6 games, that's 18 points, maximum points. That's what you need, and whoever finishes with those points will win the title. I can't say that it's going to be Liverpool. I can't say it's going to be Manchester City. But you know what? Every single game is a massive game for both those sides.
Absolutely.
Regardless of who City are, regardless of what players they have, every game is a big game.
Another big fixture on the cards. Don't forget that we continue the conversation on Twitter at ZiFM Sport. Now, your Premier League fixture, Southampton versus Liverpool. Like we said, they're Bournemouth versus Burnley. Huddersfield will take on Leicester City. Newcastle United versus Crystal Palace. And Everton versus Arsenal. Some more action, boss.
Yep, it's also FA Cup semi-final weekend this weekend. And Manchester City will start their semi-final against Brighton and Hove Albion as the overwhelming favourites as they continue their quest for a domestic treble. The citizens have been in sublime form of late and have ridden their hot streak to the top of the Premier League standing. Last tasting defeat in January away at Newcastle United. They enter tomorrow's match having won 13 in a row in all competitions, going up against a Brighton side that has lost its past 2. Bunj, let's quickly look at these two semi-finals. Manchester City against Brighton. You can easily say that this should be one-way traffic.
Yeah, when you look at the teams that are left in the FA Cup, this should be one in the bag for Man City against Brighton semi-final. Yeah, it's one-way traffic. If not, one-way traffic with 4 or 5 goals. Okay,
so City basically have got one hand on the FA Cup.
No, I think so. Yeah, definitely so. I actually think they've got 2 hands on it.
Right, Sims, let's look at the second game because Watford and Wolves will both be hoping to end their long wait for an FA Cup final appearance when they meet at Wembley on Sunday. The Hornets have not progressed past the semi-final stage of this competition since 1984, while their opponents are still looking to reach the final for the first time since lifting the trophy back in 1960. In fact, I remember Watford. They reached the FA Cup final in 1984 against Everton, and they lost by 1-0.
Yeah, that's
the team at that time was owned by Sir Elton John.
Yeah, that's a pretty. That's a pretty long. That's a pretty long time when I was still in primary school.
You can probably say that Wolverhampton Wanderers have been the giant killers of the season.
I would say yes, because when you look at, in terms of, you were saying the Giants are the top 6 in the Premier League, they've got one of the best records even of the teams that are even within that top 6. So yes, giant killers. They seem to then struggle against the teams that are in and amongst them and below them, and that's where the Watfords also start to creep in. And the FA Cup is the FA Cup. It's gotten that sort of reputation because it doesn't always follow the script. Last season, Man City were also on for the quadruple, and they lost to a team that nobody was expecting them to lose to. So yes, in terms of on paper, we anticipate that they will run roughshod over this team, but if something goes like miss, we're also going to then start talking about the romance of the cup and all of that. So there's always that disclaimer to put out about it.
Yeah, imagine Watford versus Brighton and Hove in the final.
That will be Europe's biggest.
That'll be a great cup final. Or Brighton against Wolverhampton Wanderers. But I'm going City to face Wolverhampton Wanderers in the final of the 2019 FA Cup.
The Beautiful Game, brought to you by Kwese.
You want to turn your TV into an entertainment hub and choose what you want to watch with the all-new Kwese Play device. You can enjoy seamless entertainment streaming on apps such as Kwese iFlix, Netflix, YouTube and Al Jazeera. You can also watch unlimited online entertainment from live sport events, movies, series, top kids shows, and you can even play games on video channels. Get your Kwese Play device today at zwstore.kwese.com, or you can visit your nearest Econet shop for only $59.
Kwese Play is unlike TV. Stay entertained all day. Online streaming channels on your TV. For kids, entertainment. Movies, sports, and music. Gaming, travel, and more. Premium entertainment on Kwese Play. Watch it all, find it all. Unlike TV. Unlike TV, yeah. Kwese Play, stay entertained all day. Kwese Play is unlike TV. Unlike TV. Kwese Play, stay entertained all day.
Get your Kwese Play device for just $59. Kwese Play, it's unlike TV.
The Beautiful Game, brought to you by Kwese.
The league that makes football oh so beautiful. Where artistry and strokes of genius are the order of any day. Where the game is played with a smile and the little master creates his magic.
It's Lionel Messi!
All the news from the Spanish La Liga on ZiFM Sport.
The goal the world wants it!
Right, let's drop off in La Liga, where Barcelona are set to host Atletico Madrid in a battle of La Liga heavyweights at the Camp Nou tomorrow night as the race for the title heats up, coming into the final stretch of the season. Let's quickly look at your fixtures in La Liga and then look at that big game tomorrow. Genoa will take on Espanyol, Real Madrid against Eibar, Real Vallecano against Valencia, Barcelona will face Atletico Madrid, Alaves against Leganes, Getafe against Athletic Club of Bilbao, Real Valladolid against Sevilla, Celta Vigo are at home to Real Sociedad, Huesca visit Levante, and Real Betis versus Villarreal. Eloy Spinjera, the clash of the weekend, Barcelona against Atletico Madrid. This scenario, should Atletico Madrid go to the Camp Nou tomorrow night and cause an upset against Barcelona, could this mean championship game on?
Yeah, it could mean championship game on, but remotely for me.
Hang on. So Barca currently have an 8-point lead. Yeah. Okay. So that can be reduced to 5 points. Let me tell you now, 5 points is not a comfortable position to be.
For me, I think it's remote when you're looking at Barcelona. You know, it's not easy to catch up Barcelona when they're leading by 5 points. Imagine 8. So for me, even if they reduce that, they are the only ones that will do that. Who else is going to do that? Yeah, it's mathematically yes, but I don't see the juggernaut that is Barcelona in Spain being losing the championship when they are 5 points ahead and go on to lose the championship with a few matches left. I don't see that happen.
8 points for me. I think we've given this sort of possibility too much.
I don't.
When you say we, what is your?
Because we've brought it up and we've tried to make it something that is not. We've said, okay, fine, if the upset comes through and they reduce it to 5 points. And then we're trying to figure out which other teams are going to bring another upset to reduce that to 2 points. Because now it's out of...
anything can happen.
Then another upset. And then before you know it, it's like 3 in a row.
Who would have thought Barca would have drawn 4-4 with Villarreal?
Even if they're drawing, my issue is not necessarily with the possibility of Barcelona drawing or dropping points. It's whether or not Atletico Madrid in this now highly competitive La Liga can also then go on to be rolling out the results that they need to. If that ever happens, I think we'll be sitting very fidgety here and actually waiting for some sort of commission of inquiry, because I don't see it playing out. Although we would love for it to play out for different reasons, but I think Barcelona...
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened in football, Sims.
Paolo Rossi, Marco van Basten, George Weah, Gabriel Batistuta, Alessandro Del Piero. Serie A has been home to some of the world's finest strikers. And now they welcome arguably the greatest of them all, Cristiano Ronaldo, the best of Italian football on Z.
Champions Juventus turned their focus on nailing down an 8th consecutive Serie A title. How boring does that sound? In record time this weekend, days after a row erupted over racist abuse aimed at striker starlet Moise Kean in Cagliari. Now your Serie A fixtures: Parma takes on Torino, Sampdoria versus Roma, Fiorentina will take on Frosinone, Cagliari versus Spal, Udinese versus Empoli, Inter Milan will take on Atalanta, Lazio versus Sassuolo, Napoli will take on Genoa, and Juventus versus AC Milan.
The Beautiful Game, brought to you by Kwese.
Right, turn your TV into an entertainment hub and choose what you want to watch with all the new Kwese Play device. Enjoy seamless entertainment streaming on apps such as Kwese iFlix, Netflix, YouTube and Al Jazeera. Watch unlimited online entertainment from live sports events, movies, series, top kids shows and even play games on video channels. Get your Kwese Play device today at zwstore.kwese.com or visit your nearest Econet shop for only $59. Right, guys, unfortunately, time is up. Have a great sporting weekend. Enjoy the big clash at Barbourfields tomorrow between Highlanders and CAPS United, and of course all the rest of the sport. From the sports team, from all of us, it's good night and good weekend.
Catch all your favorite sporting action on Kwese iFlix. Download Kwese iFlix today on Google Play Store or Apple App Store and enjoy entertainment on the go. That was The Beautiful Game, brought to you by Kwese iFlix.
Kwese iFlix, entertainment on the go. Be sure to catch ZiFM Sport every weekday on ZiFM Stereo. My station, your station.